You must remember this, a kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply.
Zapateado Isabel.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jorge, George coming your way.
Hello, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very Mexican. I'm not sure if my face gives it away. Donald Trump says that all Mexicans are rapists and killers, but the truth is I haven't killed anyone. And, now that I live in America, I realize that there are a lot of misconceptions about Mexico. Mexico is pretty much like Texas, but with few less Mexicans and way dirty. And I give you an example. I went to a public high school, and the restroom was the same restroom as, you know, the one from Orange is the New Black, but there were no girls. It was just dirty. There were no doors in the stall. There was no toilet paper. It was awful. So I say, you know what? It was my second day at school, and I say I'm walking home, which in hindsight was a very bad idea because I didn't make it. So it was. Well, I make a parenthesis here. Like in Mexico, there's no concept of like suburbs and city. It's just like a mesh in which there's like a church and a school and everything is together. So I was in the middle of the street. And I said, you know what, I cannot hold it anymore. So I basically shit my pants. But I waited till like no one was watching. So I eat a lot of fiber, so there were like a lot of like balls of shit like rolling down my leg. So when no one was watching, I was like just shaking my leg, but it wouldn't come out. So like I started doing like James Brown, and then everything started to just get out when no one was watching, right? So I thought no one was watching, but then I look at the other corner, and it was an old man, but he was not judgmental. He was just looking at me like, boy, I thought I saw everything back in the 60s, but this is the first time that I see a boy like shitting out of his right foot. And man, I said like, oh, he scared the shit out of me. And you know, like growing up in Mexico, I didn't like. It's very weird because I didn't realize that I was poor. You know, like I had no money. Like my family was so poor that my father didn't pay any taxes and he still got a refund. Like this is a true story. Like I was 5 years old and he didn't have enough money to buy me a backpack, so he gave me his leather briefcase. So in Mexico you need to wear a uniform. So I was walking because even if you're 5 years old, you need to walk to school. It was 2 blocks away. I was walking to school the first day, elementary. They didn't want to let me in because they thought I was like a Mormon kid. I wanted to spread the gospel. When I got in the classroom, they thought I was a teacher. I came to the realization on this point of life, like, I mean, this face is going on here, I have a beer belly, I have a double chin. It's very hard for me to meet new girls. I have a wife, for example. And the only way I have to be, like, basically, like, desirable to the opposite sex is to be rich. And the fact is that I'm broke as my grandma's hip bone. It's really hard for me, and I have no credibility whatsoever. What I'm saying, like, even if I make it and I'm a big shot eventually, like, nobody's gonna believe me, right? Because, like, I'm Mexican and that doesn't go really well. So, actually, like, my only financial goal is not to put my kids through college or to buy a boat or anything. My only financial goal in life is to go to Crate and Barrel and don't feel self-conscious. That's all I want. I just want to walk in there like I own the place, like, alright, this is like, I own this shit. I don't want to buy anything. I just want to go there and feel like comfortable. Right? I want to feel confident. And people like, when I told people like, hey, I do stand-up comedy, they think like I'm very confident, but that's not true. Because I just come here to talk about my insecurities. Right? the truth is that I've never been good in relationships. My wife, she's my best friend, but she's my best friend only because we have sex. Or she's a very shitty friend. She wouldn't make it to the top 10. The only girl that has ever asked for my phone number, she never called me back. She just used my Safeway points at a gas station. But my wife, she's my only addiction. I mean, other than cocaine. Actually, my relationship with my wife is the same relationship I had with cocaine. Like, they both from Mexico, they're both illegal, and I want to quit, but I don't know how. This is exactly the only situation in which I can talk shit about my wife all night long, then I go home and she said, like, you did great. My mother says I don't need to drink, but I said, like, Mom, I need to kill what I got inside me. And she thinks I'm talking about my feelings, but that's bullshit. I don't have insurance and I have a tapeworm. I'm gonna drink that bitch to death. That's all I got.